Thank you for the little rant, everybody. What's up, slugs, and welcome back to the Goose Egg Gambling Podcast, the only podcast that isn't afraid that it's deathly afraid of the Week 7 NFL board. I'm your host, Matasaurus Rex, aka LeBronald James, and I'm joined, as always, by my co-host Jerrod, aka Jerrod Dudley.
Hey, that's all right, I guess. You've had better.
Yeah, I've had better. But we are also joined today by special guest Joey, aka Sir Paddleboat.
I like that. I actually like that.
Sir
That's good.
Paddleboat?
Anytime you could insert some sort of different watercraft into the picture, I appreciate that.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming on to the podcast.
Long commute from
absolutely.
downstairs.
Yeah, it's a rough battle. We're glad you braved the elements and you're here.
You know, that's just what Island boys do. You know what I mean?
It's exactly what Island Boys do. And
we can't stop listening to Island Boys.
Yeah,
right,
we're on a big Island Boy kick in the office here. So if you hear a couple references throughout the podcast, that is why.
or some random reggae music.
Yeah.
It's probably from Island
Just
Boy.
be expecting it at any point throughout the podcast, basically. So I don't know about you guys, but I am stoked. I think this is the best time of the year to be a sports fan because we are in that sacred 2-week window where you got 4 sports because the hockey's going on too. You got 4 sports going on at once. It's pretty awesome. And personally, I'm all in on the NBA this week just because the NBA season finally tipped off. It's crazy that we've had 3 seasons now in a 24-month span.
Yeah.
I don't know how they've been able to pull that off, but kudos to the league. It feels like basketball is just always on, but I've been in a big basketball mood throughout these last few days, and it's got me thinking about the championship already, which is
naturally.
Yeah, it's
right.
The championship's in June, and it is currently October 21st.
Mm-hmm.
But it's got me thinking about it. I was looking at the odds, and they're out. You can bet on who you think the champion's going to be. Brooklyn Nets are the favorite at plus 240. Lakers are behind them at 400. Personally, my bet is I think the Bucks repeat. I think the Bucks just have the size, skill. I think Giannis is entering his moment as the best player in the league if he hasn't already. And I kind of think it's crazy that they're that low, especially considering the drama going on with the Nets and the age of the Lakers. I personally didn't know why the Bucks were that low at 900, so I snagged them right there.
Yeah. I think it was because I think the Bucks wouldn't have won last year if the Nets would have stayed healthy.
That is true. That first game when Kyrie did play, the Nets looked unstoppable.
And the Suns kind of lost steam.
They did.
At the end of the finals.
But could you argue that that's because the Bucks' size started just overwhelm them? I think the Bucks start series slow, but eventually their physicality just wears on the other team.
And then Ayton could not cover Giannis, and then Giannis was just all over the paint, just dominating. Yeah. I think he scored 50 points in that
finals game.
Yeah, that finals game.
6, I think it was game 6. But
yeah, he ordered 50 nuggets from Chick-fil-A the next day on Instagram Live. So that's how I know for sure it was 50.
Did he eat all of them?
Probably.
I gotta imagine he could. I gotta imagine Giannis can put down some food.
At most, I could put down 15.
You're also not 7 feet tall.
I'm probably heavier than him though. He's just bones pretty much, isn't he?
No, Giannis. He was when he came in the league. If you've seen before and after pictures of him in the league, he's put on a ton of muscle.
He's a little stronger than me.
Slightly.
Yeah.
I think you got him in the vertical jump department.
It says he's 242 online. I don't.
Jerrod, are you 242?
No, I'm about 200.
There you go. So,
there you go.
Well, it's a long winter. Bulking season's here. You can catch up to him.
Yeah.
I don't know if you'll ever catch up to him in height. I got to be honest. I think that ship has sailed for you.
Oh, we'll see. I still haven't gone through puberty yet.
Yeah, you're working on it.
Yeah. I'll have my second
He says with a full beard. But some other noticeable odds were Warriors at 900. Suns are 1,500. I personally kind of think the Suns were a one-year wonder.
I think so too.
I like them. I like Chris Paul a lot. I'm kind of sad he didn't get his ring. I don't think he ever will.
Yeah. I think last year was their best chance to win.
With all the injuries. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Clippers are 1,600. 76ers are 1,600 still, which is kind of remarkable.
Should be 7,600.
Bars.
Honestly. And then Jazz 16, Nuggets 2,000. So my pick personally is the Bucks. I just feel like they're built for the playoffs now. I think the addition of Drew Holiday last year was the missing piece that they just needed some reliable scoring because playoff basketball always just comes to the last 2 minutes. Who can get you a bucket?
Yeah.
Drew Holiday, Middleton stepped up in such a huge way. We saw that. And I just think, I mean, the Nets are so interesting, but I just don't think they're built to stop.
Just too many
Bucks.
question marks around.
Exactly. They're you don't even know what they're going to look like a few months from now.
Mm-hmm.
So I put my bet in already at Bucks 900. I'm curious of what you guys think.
I don't hate it.
Yeah.
I have the Jazz and Knicks. I think the Knicks are going to have a big year this year.
You think finals big?
Yeah. I like, it's hard to play at Madison Square Garden. That crowd's rocking every night. and it was a huge playoff advantage last year. I mean, Trae Young happened, but
Trae Young did happen.
I think they'll improve off of that. And I'm just kind of a Knicks homer too.
Are you a Knicks fan?
Yeah. Not
really?
Just pretty casual, but
yeah,
I like them better than the Timberwolves.
Okay.
Timberwolves are absolute doo-doo butter.
Timberwolves are Timberwolves have been in an interesting spot the past few decades, honestly. They're currently the worst franchise in all of sports in terms of winning percentage.
So Jerrod had this at least you're consistent on both podcasts because he said the same thing on ours.
You gotta give the podcast.
On Double Team, we'll put a link in the description. Oh yeah. So we'll put it up here.
We as in me.
Yeah. So we'll put it right here.
Just making it hard for me to edit.
And here, and here, and here, and here.
Oh my god.
But
we gotta get this out today.
Right. so on MGM, somebody put $50 down on the New York Knicks to beat the Rockets in the NBA Finals, and we talked about that, and would turn into $500,000. $50
New York
bet.
Knicks to beat the Rockets.
Yeah. So if you are confident in that bet, Jerrod, I know it's the Jazz, not the Rockets. I
don't even like the Rockets. I probably won't, but I mean,
no, put down Jazz Knicks.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So I'd probably have to pick Lakers against the Bucks. I'd say the Lakers are going to win. I don't know. They're old, but I think they're going to coast this season, and then maybe I've seen LeBron play way too many times. I know how he operates. They never win opening day.
No,
they always look terrible, and until he doesn't like. I mean, okay, he didn't play in the playoffs very well last year because they weren't in it too long. But
yeah,
I looked at the team. I was like, I told you the other day, I was like, DeAndre Jordan's on the team. Like, I had no idea. Like,
Dwight
they have
Howard, Rondo.
They have like not even like the guys we know, like Melo and Westbrook and Anthony Davis. Like, just so many random people. It's a long season, as you said. Like, you have from October until June, and then you find out. A winner. I think they piece it together. They got too many veterans, but they're not going to do it for 82 games. They're gonna coast. LeBron's going to teach them how to take vacations and drink wine.
Yeah, they'll do that big midseason splash trade they always do.
Yeah, but I'm surprised about the Bucks as well. I no respect for the defending champions, I guess, but midseason trade for the Lakers. I'm sure they'll get somebody. I'm sure 5 of the guys that LeBron said they're going to bring in are
they get like Giannis midseason. At the Lakers.
Man,
yeah,
they already have Kostas on Antetokounmpo.
Yeah,
that was a big thing. Like what every team was trying to sign Giannis's little brothers just to like get some sort of like pull in free agency, and it just never happened. Do you guys like the Westbrook to the Lakers move? Because I personally love it.
Yeah, it's a great fit.
I think it fits really well. I know everyone's freaking out right now, but I think the main reason they brought him in is just because LeBron and AD, I don't think are like built to play a full regular season anymore. And crushing it in the regular season, that's Westbrook's specialty.
No, Westbrook is probably the only player on that team that'll go 110 miles an hour 110% of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Second, I love the narrative because if they win, everybody's gonna be like, well, LeBron won a championship with Westbrook and Kevin Durant could never do that. So I'm here for the drama.
You think it's 4D chess by LeBron? I think LeBron.
Oh, 100%. That I mean, he knows what he's doing. Mm-hmm. He's always 4 steps ahead. He's just,
That's true. Even though I have the Bucks picked, I think everyone is kind of cheering for a Nets-Lakers finals.
Yeah.
I think that would just be, especially if Kyrie does end up playing. There's just so many storylines.
They got James Harden, Durant, Westbrook.
There's just so many storylines.
Mm-hmm.
So your pick is Lakers, Nets. You've got Jazz, Knicks. I also have the Jazz. I think this is the Jazz's breakout.
I have Lakers, Bucks.
Lakers, that's what you said.
Yeah,
sorry.
No, you're good. No worries.
But I have the Jazz also coming out of the West. I feel like in the NBA, you can always kind of tell what team is next. They always teams very rarely come out of nowhere. Like the Suns last year were an exception. It's always a team that's in the playoffs, gets eliminated like the second round. And that's been the Jazz since Donovan Mitchell's got there. They're always like making a playoff run, just always not good enough. And I think this is the year they finally put it together.
I would say the Suns, though, they didn't come necessarily. I didn't think they go to the finals, but they put together a pretty nice run in the bubble. They just missed the playoffs. And then you add Chris Paul.
Mm-hmm.
But so I would say that theory is pretty accurate.
Yeah. You always can like see it kind of coming. It's just a matter of who can like put it together. So I'm personally excited for the season. I'm thinking I put my bet in for Jazz to win the Western Conference, Bucks to win the championship. But I'm just excited to see it all play out. I know for a fact in a week or two, I'm going to lose interest in the season for a while.
Until Christmas.
Christmas Day.
Just like LeBron.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, me and LeBron have the same interest levels in basketball. The only difference between him and I is that he's much more genetically built to play basketball.
Right.
So yeah, I'll check out of the season for a little bit until Christmas. Then I'll watch with my uncles who will just get pissed because they just hate watching the NBA.
Oh, they're flopping.
They're flopping. They have to travel. My favorite is when they call it the travels.
Yeah, traveling doesn't exist.
Yeah, they hate LeBron. It's just great.
It sounds like your uncles are pretty cool, actually.
Oh, man. Are you not a LeBron fan? No. Why is that?
I don't know. Just a lot of things.
Okay.
Just flopping every time he gets hit at the bucket. He lays down for 10 minutes.
Oh, Jerrod's a little old school. Who's your favorite player in the league then?
I like Julius Randle a lot.
You're so weird.
I like him.
I'm going to get you a Randall jersey for your birthday.
I used to love Kawhi when he was with the Spurs.
Not anymore.
No, he's all right. But I don't know.
Randall.
I like Durant. Durant's fun to watch.
Yeah, Durant is a lot of fun.
Durantula.
Giannis is so much fun to watch too. It's just like how the hell is this guy like?
Now that he's shooting really well too.
How do you stop him? Like
I hate how long he takes out free throws. Giannis.
Yeah, that part's a little rough, but
it's annoying.
You go get chips during those. You go to the bathroom.
Yeah, he's just giving you
back
a
and he's still
bathroom
dribbling.
break.
Yeah, he's still dribbling when you come back.
Yeah. But maybe that whole free throw thing, like us making fun of him, has encouraged him to become a better shooter. Because now, like early on in the season, he's been shooting pretty well. Granted, it's been one game in the preseason, but like those clips, I do enjoy. My favorite part of the NBA season is the early season overreactions. This is always when the Kings or the Timberwolves will start off really hot. Yeah, it's like, is this their year? Mm-hmm. And it never is.
That's true. The Timberwolves always start hot. Like they win like their first 8 out of 10.
Well, have you seen the thing with Karl Anthony Towns? He said his pregame routine this year is going to be watching two gorillas. He has a video of two gorillas fighting to the death, and he's going to watch that every single game before every single like pregame.
He's been watching way too much Joe Rogan.
I think so.
Yeah.
And
it's like Kyrie Irving 2.0 right there. Like you talking about the Suns coming out like nowhere and whatever. Like you can tell when a fucking psychopath is about to come about. That is wild.
Yeah, and then D'Angelo Russell said, like, in his postgame yesterday, he said, like, our only goal this year is to kill. We're going to kill every quarter, kill every possession. So I don't know what's going on in Minnesota. I don't know if Alex Rodriguez just has them tuned up or what, but I'm excited to watch the Timberwolves this year.
Yeah, they must be taking Alpha Brain or something.
Something like that.
They beat the Rockets last night by 18.
They did.
See?
Yeah. Times are changing. Alex Rodriguez has them whipped into shape.
He's got that Yankee mindset.
Exactly. So that's the best part about the season right now. Anything can happen. Everything won't happen. I think we pretty much know who the Final Four will be, but there's always that surprise team, so you never know. Speaking of anything can happen, tonight's Thursday night football game, the Denver Broncos versus the Cleveland Browns. Holy shit, what is going to happen in this game?
Oh, I guess I'm wearing a Browns jersey.
We do happen to have a Browns casual fan across the table.
Big casual.
I'll just give the floor to you, Joey. I have not placed a bet on this game yet. The line currently is 1.5. The Browns are still favored. Money line's minus 120. Over under is 41.
Yep.
What are you, as a Browns diehard fan? I'll admit you are a diehard fan.
Thank you.
What are you expecting at least from the game tonight?
So here's one rule, and I've told Jerrod this a bunch of times: never bet on the Cleveland Browns. They're a horrible bet, and they never cover, even if they win. So never bet on them. You will lose. I promise you. I'm not going to give you financial advice, but that's about it. So we talked about this a couple days ago, and we released the pod after our predictions, and we assumed maybe Baker would play. We didn't know. Well, it came out yesterday that Case Keenum is starting. My brother and I, both Browns fans, we both picked the Broncos to win, and Jerrod picked the Browns to win. So. Even though the line is shifted, it doesn't change my thought process. I just think the Browns are too injured right now. And it's more so just an indictment on our injuries, not the Broncos being stellar or anything like that. They're a very mediocre team. I think they've lost 3 straight.
Yep.
As well as so I don't know. I'm not really looking forward to tonight. it's one of those things where it's like, I'm excited. I'll be happy when it's over.
They're just trying to get through this week. It kind of feels like.
It's like, it's like going to the DMV. You're like, I got to do it. But then once you're done, you're like,
I'm going to feel way better about that.
Yeah, I'm glad it's over.
I accomplished something today.
Right. So I don't know. I think the Broncos are going to win. Maybe by a field goal. I said 24-21.
Yeah, I think the spread's 3 points, 3.5.
It's 1.5.
It just shifted.
Oh, it's 1.5.
After Baker went down, it went down to 1.5.
Oh, I didn't know.
So that's why I think Browns. I think Case Keenum's a very competent backup quarterback. He had a electric press conference yesterday where he said he's built for this and he's been ready his whole life for this.
Well, he's like you don't. Well, he said he's like, you don't have to get ready when you're always ready or something like that. And I was like, damn, that was kind of savage.
It was nice. Yeah, I mean, Case Keenum was a playoff quarterback. He got the Vikings
NFC Championship.
Yeah,
with Stefanski, with the coach. To be fair, when Baker came into the league, he was always, I mean, Colin Cowherd always compares him to like his ceiling is Case Keenum. He's on record for saying that. So that's why the Browns got him. That's why they paid him a lot of money to be a backup, is because if Baker goes down, you're not really shifting to like a different player. It's like a similar type player like Case Keenum.
It's a very savvy move, which is why I still think the Browns can pull it off. It's in Cleveland, which I think gives them a huge advantage. The only thing that does give me pause is that apparently Teddy Bridgewater against the spread as an underdog is 17-4.
Very good.
He's very good as an underdog, apparently. I did not realize that.
Also, Von Miller, he said that he doesn't know who he's going up against tackle-wise, but he said he's going to kill them. So we're just killing people on this podcast, apparently.
Yeah, apparently it's something, I guess maybe it's a Halloween thing. Maybe everyone's just feeling extra murderous.
Spooky season. Everybody's spooky
season.
Confirm Von Miller's a Timberwolves fan.
Yeah, apparently.
Way to draw the lines there, Jerrod.
Does that mean Von Miller to the Vikings confirmed?
Oh, I like that.
You heard it here.
All right.
But
we don't really need them, but okay.
Yeah, exactly. The Vikings need more pass rushers.
Yeah, Vikings are second in the league in sacks right now.
Are they?
Or are they first? One of the two.
Good for them. What are they in wins?
About 3. About 3. Same as the Browns.
Yeah, that was out of pocket on my part. But the other thing that makes me concerned is that the Cleveland wins have been by big margins, but they've been by 10, 20, and 7. And the Broncos losses have been by 16, 8, and 10.
Yeah.
But both these teams are very much limping into this game. It's going to be ugly. I'm the 41's a really low over under for me to want to take the under, so I'm going to stay away from it. But I think I'm going to go with Browns -1.5.
So this is a game too also that a lot of the older Browns fans are like really looking at, because John Elway is one of the reasons why the Browns don't have a Super Bowl.
The drive.
That's drive. Right. And then I think the fumble is against the Broncos as well.
Yep, that was at Mile High.
I think that was 2 seasons in a row. So it's just a lot of bad blood for the Broncos. The Browns have had their favor against them in recent years, obviously, because they have had quarterbacks that are terrible, like Drew Lock, who got the starting job because he rapped "Put On" by Young Jeezy on the sideline.
That's right.
So, yeah.
That did go viral for a little bit, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you're saying Broncos, but are you kind of just protecting yourself in case of a jinx?
Nice reverse jinx,
exactly.
Win-win.
Yeah.
Win-win.
I got Browns. You also
I'll take Browns just to make Joey uncomfortable.
Yeah, make him sweat a little bit.
Yeah.
It'll be fun. Where are you gonna be watching tonight?
I might watch here actually. I did a thing with Amazon Prime with Jerrod last week, and they got this like really cool feature on it, like
X-ray.
Yeah, and you can just have like all these stats like next to it, and it's like live TV too. It's not like the YouTube TV where it's like 2 minutes behind. So
that is nice.
Quick little plug.
There you go.
Cover your bases.
Yeah.
All right. Well, speaking of the AFC, this week's board, like I said earlier, is very scary. It's a lot of double-digit point spreads and just not a lot of great games. Besides this Browns-Broncos game, which I wouldn't even classify as a great game, the two best games I thought are Chiefs and the Titans and the Colts and the Niners. So Chiefs and Titans, this line has actually moved up. It's now up to 5.5 for the Chiefs, which I had the Chiefs originally circled because it was originally at 4.5 when I looked earlier this week. But that extra point, I don't know, it just got me thinking. I think I'm also just a contrarian, so I enjoy going against the grain a little bit. So I might be leaning Titans because the Chiefs have historically kind of owned this Titans, at least in this iteration of the teams. But holy shit, that Chiefs defense is so bad. I really don't want to bet on that Chiefs defense.
No.
Yeah.
The over-under is 57 for this game because the Titans defense is pretty bad too.
Yeah. This is my free cheese of the week.
Is it?
So I looked on DraftKings. I'm taking the over at 126.5 for rushing yards for Derrick Henry.
Oh yeah.
126.5.
The Chiefs have the 27th ranked run defense. I'm taking that too.
So the Chiefs are allowing 5.2 yards per carry. That's third worst in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Derrick Henry has gotten over 126 yards in 4 of his 6 games this year.
Yeah.
I'm all over. This might be my freest cheese of the century right here.
I think I guess the Titans beating the or you had the Titans last week as your free cheese or a few weeks ago.
Yeah, the Urban Meyer game.
That was what.
Yep. So I'm all over this prop bet of Derrick Henry getting over 126 yards.
I think I might get it on that too. That seems too good to be true.
I think it's a layup.
Yeah.
What do you think, Joey?
I mean, I think Derrick Henry has a Sparta game, honestly. Like, we could see him get 300 yards. Like, he is on my fantasy team, and I needed him to get 35 points, and he got 37 points, 3 touchdowns. If you could have a more free cheese.
I think so.
Especially because
it's possible.
your strategy to beat Mahomes and the Chiefs has to be like control the clock, have the ball as long as possible. And when you have the best running back in the league, that's pretty easy to do. So he's going to get plenty of carries and opportunity to do it.
And he faced a good Bills defense last week, Derrick Henry.
Yep.
Oh yeah, tore them apart.
Well, yeah, no. Best running back in the league against the worst rushing defense. That's all you need to say.
Pretty much, yeah.
So happy that Tyler traded me Derrick Henry for Dalvin Cook. That's just made my whole fantasy.
I forgot
year.
about
Oh yeah, him and Russell Wilson. The Russell Wilson part hasn't helped too much, but
I think you still won that trade over.
Wait, you got Russell Wilson?
I got Russell Wilson and Derrick Henry, and I gave him Dalvin Cook and Baker Mayfield.
Because he wants an all Vikings team.
So I like got mad at Tyler for that trade, and he's like, "No, dude, it was like a fair trade." I don't know. He's like, "I thought you were a Baker Mayfield guy." I'm like, "Yeah, but I'm not also a fucking idiot." Like, what the hell is that trade? And I have Russell in my other league. He's gonna come back like week 10 or 11, I think. Even if he didn't come back at all, you still won that trade.
I have Aaron Rodgers too, so Russell's just sitting on my
and Baker's out. He's probably gonna get surgery at some point this season. I think
the best part about it is I play Tyler this week, and his team is all Vikings right now, and Baker's is back. And Baker's his backup quarterback. So he's literally like, I don't even know if he set his roster yet. I kind of hope he just forgets, but like he literally has to do all waiver wires just to like put a team together against me.
Yeah.
So I'm just loving that.
Yeah, but he knew this week was coming where you get fucked.
That's what I told him. He came up to me like trying to find sympathy. He's like, Matt, like I don't know what to do. Like I have no one playing this week. And
oh my god,
everyone's talking like this is what happens when you draft all one team. Yeah, you have to take that L for your bye week. It's just what it is.
Yeah,
I'm just thrilled that it's happening against me.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm also all over Titans plus 5.5 against the Chiefs. Yeah, I think the Chiefs. Every spread the Chiefs are in, it seems inflated.
Yeah.
It's just
I think we're just going off of past.
Exactly. And the Chiefs are not great.
No, they're not. I think I told Jerrod this stat last episode, but the greatest show on turf is still the best offense in terms of yards per play. They got 7 yards per play, and the Chiefs defense is giving up 7.1 yards per play. So the Chiefs defense is turning every offense into the best offense in the league, like in terms of yards per play.
It's that bad.
Yeah. The Chiefs are horrendous.
I mean, we saw it firsthand.
Yep.
Against the Bills.
You did.
Unbelievable. Josh Allen was just throwing piss missiles everywhere. I watched it just when, the Browns played them, and we're like, damn, the Browns are going to kill it this season. And a little wrong about that one, mostly because of injuries. But you're not wrong. And it's sad because I think a lot of people are going at like Patrick Mahomes. It's like, yeah, he's kept turning over the ball a little bit, but he's not giving up 35, 40 points.
That's just the thing with quarterbacks, though. Quarterbacks are going to always take all of the credit, all the blame. I mean, we see it with Baker every week. Baker put up 42 against the Chargers. It was at 42, right? Against the Chargers, and still people are saying he's a trash quarterback and that he like lost the game for them.
Yeah, and it's like when the Packers had have Aaron Rodgers with Mike McCarthy and Mike McCarthy's later years, like their defense was awful, and Rodgers kept him in every game and brought him to the playoffs like 2 straight years because their defense.
That was always the case with Andrew Luck too. There was I don't remember the stat off the top of my head, but there was some crazy stat that he was undefeated, I think, if the defense gave up less than 28 points.
Which is absurd.
Yeah.
What?
It's just such a shame that he retired now. But yeah, so you got Titans plus 5.5. I'm for sure taking that Derrick Henry bet. I did not know that was out there. I didn't even think of looking at that. So that's really fucking smart.
Yeah, and that was on DraftKings and the Caesar Sportsbook I saw. So like it's multiple. Like it's just
it's out there. It's out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So go. Yeah, I'm taking that as my free cheese of the week too. Actually, I didn't have one pick. So yep, Derrick Henry over 126. It was 126 and a half. Perfect. All right. I'm right now. I'm leaning towards the Chiefs minus 5.5, but that'll be a game time decision. I'll keep you guys updated on the Goose Egg Instagram, goose.egg.gamble if I change my mind, but I'm rolling with the Chiefs. Final game that I wanted to talk about at least is the Sunday night game. We've got the Indianapolis Colts at the San Francisco 49ers. Kind of a desperation game for both teams. Both teams are very much clawing to stay alive in their division. The Colts, I think, are a little less desperate just because the Titans are the only real threat. The Niners, everyone's a threat in their division, and if they lose this game, they might be out of it.
Right. Yeah.
The AFC South is so bad. I just looked at it. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I mean, they're bad every year, but so the Titans are 4-2, respect to them. Colts 2-4, Texans 1-5, Jaguars 1-5.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like that every year.
Yeah.
It's the word. I hate
that.
Well, that's
so
how Peyton
bad.
Manning was just always able to just completely destroy them.
And like Tom Brady, it's like a guaranteed division win, like against AFC East. Yeah.
Is that something that we should discredit for their legacies, or do we almost give them credit for it? Because I do feel like having that stud team in your division does cause like panic amongst the other teams. They like draft, they have like it's a seed of doubt in their mind. They draft trying to beat that other team. It doesn't always work.
Yeah, well, you get rest too, I think. I mean, you don't go as hard if you're blowing teams out. I don't know. I think it helps you long term. I mean, you still got to play the same amount of games as everybody else, but I definitely think it's an advantage.
Oh, yeah. I don't think the Patriots would have been the Patriots if they were in the AFC North.
Or the NFC West right now.
Right.
No way.
And then they always had home field advantage in the playoffs.
Yeah, because they don't, and you usually end the season with divisional games. So you have like 2 or 3 pretty easy games where you can get yourself gelling and ready to go for the playoffs.
There's still 10 other games they have to play
absolutely.
each season, but like 6 guaranteed wins.
There was
for
never,
the most part, unless
there
they
was
went to
never
Miami.
a good quarterback in the AFC East when the Patriots were on top.
And it's so funny.
Mark Sanchez is the closest thing.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever they go to Miami, it would just be a loss.
Yeah.
Weird.
That was always
Everything
fun.
else guaranteed.
Mm-hmm. But like, remember like when the Seattle was really good with like Legion of Boom, they always had to play the Niners every year. The Niners were a hell of a team.
Yeah, there's always like came down to those last few weeks. So
it is a bit of a comparison there.
Yeah, there's so much luck that goes into like those big dynasties or whatever. Like I think a big part of it does depend on like, what your division and conference in general is doing at the
also,
time.
Tom Brady taking a pay cut for like
that was huge
because of Giselle, and she's like makes more money than him, so he doesn't have to make that much money. He's got all
because he was dying before Jerrod.
I mean, he was like making all these like team friendly deals.
Oh yeah.
And I have a conspiracy that Giselle built the Patriots dynasty because Brady never had to negotiate for a max contract.
You think she deserves a banner as well?
She deserves a Super Bowl ring, yeah.
I was
Ring of Honor.
So.
Yeah,
she was also the one that like would actually, because Tom would never speak up to Kraft. I had just finished the audiobook, The Patriot Way. Really good listen. And she would be the one because Tom would never say anything to Kraft about like his discomfort with Belichick or anything, and she would go to Kraft's place like by herself and like talk to Kraft, and like that's like the real reason that Jimmy G got traded, and like they like brought in Antonio Brown, stuff like that.
She pulled a lot of strings.
She did. Giselle's a boss.
She is a boss.
I like Giselle a lot.
I do too.
So that's that. If you want to be known as the greatest quarterback of all time, find yourself
a Brazilian supermodel.
A Brazilian supermodel. Much easier said than done. But yeah. So anyways, back to the Colts Niners. I'm sticking with the Colts at plus 4.0 in this one. The 49ers apparently have a 63.8% chance to win due to Pro Football Focus. It's going to be a very low scoring defensive game, but
where's the game at?
It's in San Francisco.
Okay.
But the Colts are 4-2 versus the spread this year. The Colts have played in very close games every single time. They have not really been blown out.
Yeah.
And they've had the hardest schedule in the league up to this point. They're still going through it, kind of.
Yeah. And both well-coached teams. Shanahan and Reich are good coaches. So
Shanahan's having kind of a rough year, though.
Yeah.
A lot of people have like questioned his play calling and whatnot.
I'm looking at an article right now, and I'm just seeing the title, and it says Kyle Shanahan explains why he likes Trey Lance. And I could literally sum up that article in 4 words. He's not Jimmy Garoppolo.
See, that's interesting though, because Garoppolo is expected to start this game. Not Lance got hurt 2 weeks ago against the Cardinals, so Garoppolo is currently expected to start, and they're coming off a bye, so everyone should be healthy. But the Niners are also 1-4 versus the spread this year, so I'm rolling with Colts plus 4, and I'm feeling pretty confident about that. I think Wentz will have a decently solid game. I think it'll be a lot of running the ball. It'll be like a 20-17 game, something like that. But I'm feeling confident because especially I think Trey Lance was in there. I'd feel a little more nervous, but I'm feeling confident in Colts plus 4 there.
Yeah, Sunday night games are always weird on the West Coast because it's always sunny right away.
Yeah,
it always just throws me off.
I like it though because then like once like the sun goes down, it's like
it
the
starts.
state. Yeah, the lights come on. It's like a state. It's very like theatric, and I enjoy. I'm all for theatrics for theatrics' sake.
Yeah.
Well, every Sunday night game I think this season has been super close. I mean, last week it was Seahawks Steelers, and that went to overtime.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is. There's something in the air wherever Mike Tirico is, but it's just a good game.
It is.
Even if it's not supposed to be.
I say with Monday night too.
Yeah. They've been the primetime games have been great this year. Even Thursday night games have been awesome.
The first few were a little rough, but now we're getting into like a good stretch of them. I think.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Yeah, I don't know. We always say like, you got to take into account that Jimmy Garoppolo is very handsome, and I think that probably that plays on the field somehow, some way. The energy, just the woman, they're probably like that. They cheer louder a little bit. I'm still going to pick the 49ers to win this game. But I don't think they cover. I think it's one of those like
it'll be a field goal game.
Yeah,
it'll be a field goal game. I think.
Thread the needle.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I'll go with Colts.
Yeah, to cover, not to win, or
well, just because of Joey picked the Niners. So.
There you go.
He always. I'm telling you, he does that.
Is there beef in the Double Team podcast?
Yeah.
Do you need a new producer? I'm a podcast producer.
No,
now.
it's good. It's it's good. It's good for the show. It's good for the show. But Jerrod will pick a team, and we had this theory, and then Jerrod now just openly like, yeah, no, I just picked them because you guys like picked the other one, so it makes me think. I'm like, fuck you, man.
All right, so we all like the Colts to cover in that one. I'm glad we're a consensus because I was feeling a little uneasy about that one as well.
I got one pick here.
Okay,
Falcons -2.5 versus Dolphins. Johnny brought this up on Double Teams. The Dolphins are coming back from London, and they usually take a bye week after their London trip, but the Dolphins didn't want to do it.
Brian Flores declined it.
Yeah. So I'm taking.
That's a thing. The coaches can choose when their bye is.
I guess. Yeah. That's what Johnny said.
Maybe with London.
I guess London games, they probably give you that option. Yeah.
But yeah, Brian Flores is like, no, we're going to play the next week or something like that. So Dolphins are going to be jet lagged to all hell.
Yeah.
And Falcons -2.5. That's about
Is it in Atlanta? Do you know?
I do not know, but I don't think it matters. The Dolphins
I don't
playing
hate
like
that.
they're in London.
The Dolphins, have they lost all their momentum from that rebuild? They were on such a trajectory to go up, and just now it just feels like there's no hope almost.
No.
Yeah. And I saw a tweet like 2 years ago we were saying like tank for Tua, and now look how that's look how that's looking for the Dolphins.
Well, now they're like rumored to get Deshaun Watson at some point.
Yeah, I heard like
which is
as
another
soon as this week they're thinking that might go down, but that's a whole.
So maybe
that is going to be an insane. Like we've had so many things like we've tried to make content on. Like that we can't, like the John Gruden situation and just like Washington football team and like Deshaun Watson's like the number one story. It's like,
yeah, what can you do?
What do you do?
So maybe Watson will play this Sunday if he gets traded. You never know.
I can't imagine Elton will play. Yet, is he? I think that'll be like a next year thing. I can't imagine he's going to play this year.
Would you like Watson off the plane or fucking Tua playing?
I mean, Watson, obviously. Watson's a top 5 quarterback.
So why don't they just start him if they trade for him by Friday?
Well, they got a playbook, Jerrod.
Jerrod, I don't know if you've been keeping up with the news lately.
Well, okay. Besides that fact.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I think Tua would have to be involved in a Watson trade.
Well, I was listening to some stuff too, and it's like there are a few players last year that like went like and like, did private interviews and were talking smack about Tua. They're clearly, I mean, they flopped back and forth with Ryan Fitzpatrick last year. I mean, they're clearly like, without saying it out loud, you can tell that they're just not. I mean, all these Deshaun Watson things too, they're not invested in Tua. They don't believe in him.
Yeah, it's more bad news than good news in Miami.
So I like your pick too. That is absolutely wild that Brian Flores didn't elect it. It is in Miami, by the way, but like you said, I don't think it matters. I think the Falcons won that game.
So as a Browns fan, you'll have experience of this, and this might be a low blow, but
no, it's true.
How does it feel when you draft a franchise quarterback and you know right away they're not the guy?
See, I never knew that because you'd read articles and everybody would buy in. You just like kind of drink the Kool-Aid and you're like, yeah, this guy, Johnny Manziel's going to kill it.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be the best quarterback the Browns have ever had. And it's like, Deshaun Kaiser, I mean, he's going to kill it.
Brady Quinn.
Brandon Whedon, like best quarterback. I and it's like a new regime, like for their first year because the past 3 years has been a new GM. Each year. Oh yeah, they know what they're doing. They finally got it right. But it's weird because Brian Flores like was really close to winning Coach of the Year last year.
Yeah,
I think it was him and Kevin Stefanski and Matt LaFleur and
something like that. Yeah.
Someone else. Yeah. And now it's like he's kind of crawling for his job right now.
A little bit. Yeah, it's interesting.
That Jaguars loss. Yikes.
That's rough.
Yeah, but it's a London game. They're so fucky.
Yeah. You got to imagine Flores will for sure get another year, but I think Tua's got like 3 games left to like prove something.
He's so inaccurate.
That's a problem. And he's a very high character guy, so it's always rough to see that. Like, and he's still like, he was coming off like what should have been like a career threatening injury with the hip still kind of, but like, if your own players are already talking shit about you in the locker room, that's just not a good sign at all.
It like reminds me of how crazy like the Josh Rosen thing is. He's in this game. He's like the 3rd string, I think, for the Falcons.
Oh, Rosen is still in the league.
Yeah.
We talked about that a few
He's
episodes
a 3rd. I think he's 3rd string for the Falcons, but like how he just like kind of didn't do great. And then they're like, yep, we're getting Kyler Murray. And that was a great decision by them. But then he hasn't. And it's just weird.
Yeah, today's NFL, you do not get a lot of time to prove yourself.
No, especially
like,
quarterback.
Goff was hanging on for a life before McVay came too. Goff only had 4 games, and they were already saying like McVay could like draft someone new or whatever. Like quarterbacks, I don't know if it's the attention span of today or just like how quickly we're seeing good quarterbacks get good, or maybe just like the translation from college to the NFL. But you really only have like a month or 2 to prove yourself.
I think there's so many
a full season anymore.
I think there's so many intangibles that go with the court. I mean, people that say that quarterback is not the most important position. There are so many intangibles that like scouts and GMs and everybody know about you before they draft you, that you can pretty much tell if somebody's going to be, if they're capable of being a good quarterback or not. It just, you give them a little time. But I think with everything else, like running back, wide receiver, I think there's more like leeway for development and stuff. With quarterback, it's like, apparently, I mean, I don't know, but that's what it seems like.
You got to be the guy right away.
Yeah.
I think that's what has worked in Baker's, like, worked for him so well is like, I think everyone kind of knows he's the alpha of that locker room. He has like all the intangibles. His only problem is like, he's not athletic and can't like, he tries to run a bit too much.
Too short.
A little bit like that. All of his limitations are physical, but I think that's why he has the leeway, is because in the locker room and all that, he has changed the culture of Cleveland for the better.
And the progressive commercials.
Oh, he's a great actor. I do love those commercials.
Yeah.
And I always hate athletes in commercials, but he does a really good job with them.
Really?
I just don't think they can act.
What about John Madden?
John Madden cannot act.
Is John Madden
Victor
an
Cruz was
athlete?
the worst of all of them.
Used to be.
He was, yeah. He was like the 20s.
Yeah, but he didn't get those commercials when he was,
Well, he's a coach, yeah. He was.
boom, tough acting to acting.
Boom.
Does Madden do anything anymore besides just get paid for
I think
video games?
he's just really old and people don't want to talk to him anymore.
Yeah, he might be. at
He
that
definitely,
point.
how much do you think he makes off of just the video games?
Oh God.
Well, that's the
don't
crazy
know.
thing is kids these days don't even know who Madden is. They just think it is the video game.
Yeah.
But I'm sure he gets a good amount.
It's like the kids that don't know who Mo Bamba is.
yeah,
They
pretty
just
much.
like,
they just hear the
great song. Were you named after the song?
Yeah, exactly.
What are you talking about?
Mo Bamba?
The hip hop song like 3 years ago?
Yeah.
Oh.
He's an NBA player. He got drafted like top 5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Casual.
I thought you were saying.
Jerrod is who we're talking.
I thought you were talking about Mambo Number 5.
No.
That's what my
That's a
brain
great
went to.
song, by the way, but no, Mo Bamba. Sorry.
Yeah.
ADHD when I come on a podcast.
No, you're
Who
good.
sang that? Lubega?
Something like that.
Yeah,
It's-
that's
it's
what I
a
was
one-hit-
thinking
It's
of.
a one-hit wonder.
Mambo
for sure.
number 5.
That's a great
Yeah.
song.
Yeah.
All right, so we like that. We like your pick of Falcons. All right, Joe, I'm giving you 25 of my dollars. You make any bet on the board.
Let's go.
Anything you want to do. Give me a winner. I have not had a winner yet in this segment.
He just goes picks the Browns right now.
It's just like completely opposite what I said. So I know we already talked about it, and I was trying to put together some sort of parlay. But honestly, if you want free money this week, I'll go with the freest cheese of all time and say pick the Tennessee Titans money line over the Kansas City Chiefs.
Money line.
Derrick Henry is going to obliterate that defense. I mean, like you said, Jerrod, obliterated that Bills defense last week, which I think was the number one. They were throwing graphics up of them being like number one. Defense.
Number one in like defensive yards.
Yeah. And Derrick Henry just like, doesn't matter. 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Just at will. I am so excited for this matchup. I haven't been this excited for like a matchup that I'm not personally invested in. Right. In a long time, just because I think it's going to be like historic, like rushing day.
And it's at Tennessee too, which helps.
It is.
Yeah.
So
All right,
I would pick
Titans
that.
money line.
Yep.
I don't hate that actually. Even though I said I was thinking leaning Chiefs, but
I think you have to go Titans now. Actually, don't, because if we're all on that, the bet's not going to happen.
that's true.
So
Well, what if he wants to bet on it?
don't nope. Because
I'm
then
not
we'll
allowed.
all lose.
That's true.
Because when everyone's on the same page on a game, that's when
That's why
when it
Jerrod.
fucks
That's
with
why
it.
Jared picks other things. He's like, well, we can't all do it. It's like,
Yeah.
no, you can actually. We're not
Jared's
only.
going for the team.
We're not only the only 3 people betting on this, Jerrod. There are like hundreds of thousands of people betting.
that's how gambling goes.
That's definitely not how it goes.
The players are for sure listening. Derrick Henry is listening to this as we speak right now.
It's like on double team. What was that Vikings Lions game? I picked the Lions to reverse jinx myself, and
Smart.
it worked.
Smart.
So
That's awesome.
Very
Well,
smart.
yeah, shoot. Joey, thanks for coming on. Where can the people find you?
Thanks for having me. Yeah, so Sir Yacht everywhere. TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. I even have a Cameo, guys.
Do you?
I do.
Do you do them?
how much do you charge?
I think it's 15. Nothing great.
Oh, you got
Ooh.
to bump those numbers.
You think
up.
so?
Yeah.
I have fun doing them. A lot of people ask, like, send DMs and say, can you send a video? And I just do it.
You ever get any weird ones?
Yeah, I got one where I didn't do it. It was like a breakup.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't do it. No, I can never do that.
How does that go through someone's mind? It's like, man, I've been dating this person for a really long time. I really need to break up. You know who I need to break the news?
Sir Yacht.
I need the Cleveland Browns.
My boys.
Cleveland Browns.
If I would have got paid
$1,000
$1,000 to do it, I would have done it. But $15 to ruin somebody's
yeah,
relationship,
to hurt somebody.
but cheating stuff too. No.
What
Because then
about
you lose a fan for life. Like, there's no way that person's ever gonna like any of your
Well,
content.
and that
again.
video doesn't ever go away.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm like, but for $1,000, I'd do it.
what about $500?
I would do it for $500.
$200.
I would do it for 200. What is the lowest amount of money? It's like honestly, like
somebody for?
I just like $20.
Yeah. I would have done my surcharge rate of $20. I would have gotten to you quicker.
Yeah, no shit.
That's so bad. I didn't know people used Cameo to break up with people. That's awful.
Oh, you should see. The first time I ever got introduced to Cameo, it was Mark McGrath from Sugar Ray.
Oh yeah,
he did that to somebody. A breakup one. Yeah.
Damn, that's just cold.
I mean, money talks.
I mean, it's an easy, I don't think there's an easier way to break up with somebody, but.
No, it's easy money too. I mean, those guys charge like $750 or something for a video or maybe less. And then they make it in 30 seconds and then they go to the next one, the next one, the next one.
Yeah, I saw the Sons and Four guy.
Yeah.
He charged like $75 a cameo.
Oh my God.
That dude
that's ridiculous.
He hasn't posted since September. We looked at it the other day.
Yeah.
Because we were doing NBA stuff and he's lost like 3,000 followers on Instagram. The guy just, he had an opportunity and he milked that Sons and Four thing. He's just like holding up, hey, look at me. That's the only talent I have in life. And he could have done so much with it. If I was him, man, would have ran. Done other things.
Right.
Oh.
I hope the Bones or No Bones guy is listening right now because that's the big thing on TikTok. Have you guys seen the Bones or No Bones?
No, not familiar.
It's some guy who has a pug and every day he lifts it up and if the pug like stands up, it's a Bones day, which is like good. It's like a fortune teller thing. He was on Good Morning America yesterday just because it's like very viral on like. I think it's like a girlfriend TikTok thing.
It's like Damn Daniel too.
A little bit, yeah.
Do anything after. Hopefully Island Boys comes out with some new songs.
Yeah.
It's like because I don't know how
Island Boys 2 comes out.
Yeah, I mean that's a timeless song, but like they got to put out some other stuff too.
Straight fire.
Absolutely. So, Island Boys and Island Girls, thank you for listening. As always, do not think of it as a loss. Think of it as a down payment on future success. Good luck to everyone this weekend. Good luck to the Browns tonight. Good luck to Case Keenum. Remember, you were built for this. So, peace, everyone.
Goodbye.
Bye.